G'day folks, today I'm going crayfishing in this channel that's very low. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now some of you may have seen a recent video that I made. I came to this channel bait fishing with worms to try and catch a carp, and instead of catching any carp I caught 7 crayfish on worms. So today I've returned to the channel with my cray nets to see if I can catch crayfish the proper way. But unfortunately the channel has dropped about 2 meters. It was right up here near the top of these planks the other day, so it's gone down quite a lot. But I'm here now, so I might as well put a couple of nets in and see what happens. Rowan will be joining me from RKJ Fishing. We haven't had a chance to catch up for a while, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him. He'll be over here in the next 20 minutes or so. So I might put a net in, maybe 1 or 2 nets in, and just see what happens while I wait for Rowan to turn up. Now I've got my 2 nets ready, but check them out. I've got some new nets. These are actually crab nets. They're a little bit smaller in diameter, which I think should help prevent getting snagged too often. They've got a wire bottom. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Might be okay here in the channel where it's open and muddy, but in the river with snags, I'm not sure how that'll go. But anyway, I picked these up from Aubrey Anaconda just a few days ago. Let's put a couple in and see how we go. Right, now crab net number 1. Out there. How deep is it? It's still sinking. No, that's good. I reckon I'll get crazy today. Oh, look at it go. That's still in a good couple of metres of water there. I reckon we're going to be fine. Despite the fact that the channel is so low, I'm expecting to still catch crayfish today. Righto now. Crab net number 2. Can go way out there. Now just remember, these are crab nets, but just because they're called crab nets doesn't make them illegal. They're in size. They're in the right... they're not oversized. They're within spec. You can use yabby nets, crab nets, cray nets. As long as they are not oversized, you're right to go. Both nets are in. It's 10:29, so it's 10:30. I'm just going to be up front. I'm going to be impatient. I'm going to check them at about 10:50. I'm going to give them 20 minutes for the first soak, and then see how I go from there. If I don't do any good, then next time I'll give them a lot longer. If I do well, well then I might check them every 20 minutes. But anyway, let's just start with a 20-minute check and see how they go. Right, the time's come to check the nets. Remember I said I was going to leave them until 10:50? Well, you won't believe this. It's 10:51. I've actually gone over. How good is that? My patience is just getting so much better. What's the call? 2 little ones. And 3 little ones. 3 in the 1 net. The crab nets work. Despite the water being low, the crays are still on the bite. I've got to get a photo before they fall through the net. 3 in the first net in 20 minutes. Right, well folks, hopefully that photo I just took works. That's the biggest one. It's got no eggs, but it's still quite small. It's probably only 80 mils from eye to tail. No eggs, probably a bit smaller again. And cray number 3. So 3 crays with no eggs, but all quite undersized. 3 crayfish in the 20-minute check. This is why I'm being excited to come back over here and do this, because I had a funny feeling if I can catch 7 on a fishing rod, well then surely I can catch a whole heap in cray nets. And I'm also excited because the crab nets work. Right, now cray net number 2. Can I have more than 3 crays in it? I reckon 2. 1. I got 1. I think I'm getting the impression that there's a lot of crayfish in this channel, but they're all quite small. Even the 7 that I got on my line last week, only one of them was close to being legal, and that was a pregnant female, but even she would have been undersized. Cray number 4. Imagine how many crayfish must be in this channel. Like, that's wider than the Ovens River where I live, quite a bit wider, and it goes for miles, and most of it's inaccessible. There would be crays all the way up that way, or all the way down that way. Absolutely awesome. Right, net number 2 can go back out there. Now that was the 20-minute check. I left them in 20 minutes and I've already caught 4. That's really cool. I will leave them in now until at least when Rowan gets here, and probably a bit longer because he shouldn't be too far away. That's it. Right folks, it's time to check him again. Rowan's with me now, he's arrived. It's been about 20 minutes again, and the last time they were in for only for 20 minutes and I caught 4. Let's see if I can do it again. I reckon there's 4 in here. It feels pretty heavy. 2. Look at that, Rowan. See me new nets? They're crab nets.
I've seen them, yeah.
They're crab nets, but you're right, mate. They frisbee a lot better. So I'm up to 6, and that's probably about the biggest one. I get the impression there's a lot of crayfish in this channel, but not a lot of big ones. But that's okay. I'm having great fun. I'll see you later, mate. All right. I don't know how this wire base is going to go in the river, but here in the channel where it's just plain mud, it's working quite well. Wonder what would happen if I actually left the nets in for a little while rather than just 20 minutes. That one's got eggs. Bit hard to get down there, isn't it? See if I can get down a bit. I don't like to throw the females. I've got a really small pregnant female. That could be a sign that there's the average size is a lot smaller. Now, I wander down here. Yeah, I'm just going to do it safely. See you later, love. Right, now net number 1 can go back. Right, net number 2. What did this have in it last time? 1. What's it got this time? 2 is my guess. I've doubled it. And 1. Tiny, weeny little one that would probably fall through the wire. So I'm up to 7, which is exactly how many I caught here on my fishing rod last week. Tiny, isn't he? Tiny little cray. So yeah, right, maybe I might leave him in a bit longer than 20 minutes this time and see if I can break some records. But so far the tally stands at 7. Right folks, I've decided to put in a 3rd net. This is a different sort of net again. This was made by Matt Thurling, a homemade net with some 10 mil steel and a ferret net. But the rope's not as long, so I'm just going to throw it just out there. It is longer than it was because I lengthened it. Yeah, it's only in about 3 feet of water, that one. I don't know how that one will go. But anyway, you've got to be in it to win it. The rope's not... I should have... If I'm not catching anything, I might extend the cord, but I'll see how it goes there for now. Right, it's time to go around these nets again. I've got 3 in now, remember, but the other one's hasn't been in as long as these. It's been... I've actually lost count, but I think it's about 25 minutes to half an hour, but that seems to be working for me today. Right, so the record is 3 in 1 net, and the total so far is 7. And here's 2, one's a good one. Might almost have a legal cray here. No, that's too small. I think it's just bigger than the others, but I think it's still too small. I think the crays are easier to get out of these crab nets with the wire bottom. Rowan just said that before, and I think he's spot on. I will get a measure of this one. But I think she's got eggs anyway. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put her up here so I can get down a bit closer to the water when I release her. And this one, undersized cray, see you later, mate. And this one's got eggs, but as you can see, she is quite a bit bigger. At a guess, I'd say she's probably around about 90 millimetres from her eye to her tail. Now I'll put it back in down here. Now I could walk down there and put her back in because I can get even closer to the water, but it all looks a little bit too unstable for my liking. And as much as I want to look after the welfare of the crayfish, I need to look after the welfare of myself too. So the current tally is 9. I hooked that one a bit, it's gone a bit to the right, but that's okay. Right, net number 2, or the middle net. Are there any claws in the net? Yes, 2. Oh, you know what? I reckon I caught this one the other day. Oh no, it's not, it's a different one. Quite a good size, but I think possibly still undersized. And I suspect there could be a few eggs on board. I'll get the little one out first. Right, after much untangling, the small one is out, so he can go back. I'll get this one out now. He's not tangled as bad. I'm going to get a measurement because this one's got no eggs. I think it's still going to be undersized though. This crayfish really likes being in this net. Finally! Right, now where's my measurer? Right, now I'll get a measure because this one is a bit bigger. My guess is about 90 to 95. There's the 100. Yeah, no, still probably not even that. Probably about 88 to 90, I reckon. The biggest cray of the day, but still it's quite a bit undersized. But it's got no eggs. And I'm going to nickname this one the clock because it's got one big hand and one small hand. You see that? If the small hand's on the 1 and the big hand's on the 6, what time is it? It's 1:30. See you later, Big Ben. I'll put that back. This is the new net. It's not in as deep. It's a great net to throw. The way, oh, it's got a cray in it. I don't think it's got 2, has it? It has got a cray and she's got eggs. A female in berry. It's a Jenny in the Matt Thurling Super Net. Right, so even though it's not as deep, there's still crays there. Cray number 12 for the trip. See you later. Right, it's time to check in. Can we catch a big one? Can we catch more than 3 in one net? Or can we build on the tally of 12? It doesn't actually feel very heavy. If there's 1 or 2 in here, they're going to be small, I reckon. Ha! There's 2, but they're small. 2 little ones. Little cray number 1. And little cray number 2. Put that number 1 back in. These crab nets are really easy to throw compared to the white nets. I'm really liking them. Righto, net number 2. Feels heavy. 4 in this one. There's got to be 4 in it. And, oh, there's 2, but one of them might just be a legal cray, provided it hasn't got eggs. Now, Rowan, if that hasn't got eggs, it's all yours because I know you haven't been able to get out this year and I've already had a feed. It hasn't either. I reckon I've got illegal. Look at the size of the claws on it.
What a ripper.
And it is, yep, it's over. It's under. That is the perfect legal crayfish. There are legal crays in here. Look at that. Tell you what, if you can take a photo of me with this crayfish.
I was about to ask, mate, if you wanted one.
If you can take a photo of me with it after I check my nets, you can keep the cray.
Alright, cheers.
Do you want to hold it? Why?
Yeah.
And there's a little one in here as well. Little crayfish. See you later, mate. They're a rip. I got them from Anaconda. I haven't had a single tangle yet. Righto, net number 3, the Matt Thurling net. It has 2 crays in it. Will they make it all the way up? Yes, they both made it all the way up. Ha! So I checked 3 nets, there was 2 in each net. Got one there. I ain't got no eggs. Well, they got me on the hand though. This one has got eggs. Right, I'll find a more subtle way to put her back into the water. But she has got eggs. Right, I brought the pregnant female down to the female release zone where I can get that little bit closer to the water. And she's gone. Right folks, it's time to check the nets again, and guess what? I'm leaving them out. Final check. Let's see how I went. Last time I went around those nets there was 2 in each net, and the record for today in one net is 3 so far, and there's 3. I've got the triple, and they're all small tiny little ones. That's like pulling up a yabby net. Look at that, right? 3 little tiddlers. Numero uno, duo, trio. See you later, mato. Second last net, 3 still the record. Can we go for 4? Doesn't feel heavy. I reckon 1 little one. And that's what I've got. I've got 1 medium one. He's not little, but he's medium. You know what? I don't think I've had a single check of the nets that haven't had a crayfish in them today. Go on. The last net. Can I get 4 or can I have my first empty net? I've got my first empty net of the day. The very last net that I checked was the first empty net. Can you believe that? Those new nets, those crab nets that I got from Anaconda in Albury, they are absolutely awesome. I'm very, very happy with them. They're easy to throw, and they work very well. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, want to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and then hopefully I'll see you in my next video.